Steampunk can certainly be fun, but my true love would have to be a dystopian futuristic cityscape as portrayed in Blade Runner, along many other films.
Well, you're in luck, Captain, because look what just beamed onto our ship!
A new FunWhole, that's wonderful!
That's right, Gigi. It's time to explore FunWhole's new Neon City with their apartment set, which launches their new Cyberpunk collection.
And as I always say, the best way to tackle a new FunWhole is to go in hard.
Again, this is a genre LEGO hasn't touched on. Sure, we've had the odd CMF minifig which showcases it, and Agents and Ultra Agents contained cyborg characters, but just like Steampunk, creating an actual cyberpunk city is left for other companies to tackle.
Thank you, FunWhole, for sending this set for us to review.
And the box doesn't shy away from promising a very special creation, with details such as wraparound tube lights. Well, that ain't new. We had 2 of those of different colors with a steampunk airship.
Okay, yeah, but this one also boasts impressive-looking advertising signs, lights everywhere, prints, of course, and so much more.
But before we got the ball rolling, we hit a snag, or at least we hit what we thought could be a snag. The set's pieces are organized in multiple bags, which is nothing new, of course, but one of the bag 1s was composed solely of a solitary dark grey 1x12 plate.
That's odd.
You're telling me?
And after our misadventure with the antique store, which came with a handful of missing pieces, that got us worried.
And not only that, but the lighting kit's bags usually come in an orange box, but here there was bag 3, loose among the other bricks and pieces bags, and the orange box itself was sealed, so it hadn't accidentally come out of it.
Uh-oh, did we get a copy from the Friday night batch again?
Well, reassuringly, by the time we used up all the bag 1s, there were no missing pieces, but you know what's funny?
What?
There were a handful of leftover pieces, as is always the case, but one of them was a light grey 1x12 plate.
Ha! Go figure, eh? It's like they put in a light grey piece by mistake, so they had to add a dark grey one on its own.
And it also turns out that there was a reason for that extra orange electrical bag 3. It contained a piece that was missing from the proper bag 3.
Well, that could well confuse some people.
Certainly. So, if you happen to find a bag that does not appear to belong to the set, don't discard it. You may well need it at some point during the building process.
Duly noted.
Now, the first set of bags is devoted to assembling the 32x32 base, and it's a pretty complex affair with many cables meandering their way under the top plate.
And I thought the cabling system in the trading center was hard.
Actually, even though this cyberpunk set's got a more complex and intricate lighting system, thanks to FunWhole's new pieces, which allow the cables to be secured without damaging them or without warping the pieces above them, it ended up being a much smoother affair.
I see it's on a Mills-type base again, like the trading center.
It is, which is a plus for our own city setup. And what's interesting is there are 2 touch terminals on the very edge of the plate, meaning that future buildings might be able to connect to this one and piggyback off of its power, reducing the number of huge power bricks littering the city.
Oh, exciting!
But what's the deal with the circular light? It's got a sticker backing, which has to be applied onto 4 2x2 quarter circle tiles.
Yeah, it's bound to make taking this set apart tricky.
What's cool, though, is this is the first lighting system we've encountered from FunWhole, which comes with a USB-C connection.
FunWhole, keep evolving.
And with all the bag 1s done, we can already see the attention to detail. I connected the battery to make sure everything worked, and lights shone through under some blue transparent pieces.
Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be one impressive build.
Interesting, certainly, but there are still issues to be resolved. For instance, there's a 1x1 round plate with an LED inside of it, and you're supposed to connect it to a couple of pieces to make up a wall lamp. Trouble is, the LED actually gets in the way, and we couldn't connect those pieces together. It doesn't stop the light from working, mind. It's just disappointing you can't actually do what's suggested in the instructions.
LEDs are small, just not small enough.
Yeah, but it's really a minor issue, and truth be told, you don't really see it once the model's complete, and the lights already look great after just finishing off the second lot of bags.
There's even one that says sign with various flashing colors.
That certainly looks nice, but there's a problem with the garage door. Now, I remember a similar concept with Lego's corner garage, except here, the door can open, sure, but it jams when closing, so you have to manually pull it down.
Or did you assemble it wrongly?
Nope, I checked. It's exactly as it should be.
Yeah, I know what this is. It's an easy fix which does allow the door to open and close via the side mechanism without trouble.
How did you do that?
By stretching those 2 tall grooved pieces while assembled. This expands the slots the door slide in ever so slightly, making the process work.
Stretching pieces? You'd never have to do that with Lego.
You're right, you wouldn't. But at least this is a problem that's not too tricky to fix. Now, one interesting tidbit I found was when we got to step 238.
This is when we had one of those tubes that the light flows through around a corner.
And you're asked to cut it if you feel it doesn't fit.
And did you?
Do you think I would have chickened out?
Poor choice of words, Captain.
Well, the instructions suggested I snip, so snip I did. What do you think? I think it looks okay. And if you're nervous about doing this, bear in mind you'll have to repeat the process for the other two neon-like tubing on the upper levels.
And the arts and craft part of this build doesn't stop there. Jump to step 312 and you're asked to cut a sticker pad in half to place over a circle lighting strip.
This set is definitely not for those who don't like scissors.
I have to admit though, the results of that one's pretty cool. You place the structure you've been building with Bags 5 onto the bigger model, and not only does it instantly light up, you can turn it and keep turning it without tangling any cables, swapping between the motorcycle repair section and the covert cybernetic enhancement medical room.
I must say, I'm a bit uncomfortable with the thought of covert cybernetic enhancement being done in the back of a burger joint as part of a dirty mechanical garage.
Well, Cyberpunk's not dystopian for nothing, Doc.
I suppose not.
Less cool, though, is when you attach the first floor and you realize that not only do the stairs not reach the top, the opening doesn't even line up. What kind of architects do they have building these apartments?
We went back to double check we hadn't messed up somewhere, but no, this is how it's designed to be.
Poor show, FunWhole. Poor show.
It's like having an essence of access.
That's not how stairs work. I mean, look. Here I am walking up the stairs until, ow! I hit my head on the ceiling because the opening doesn't match the top of the stairs location. No matter what I do, I can't get through.
And the same applies from the top. Instead of walking down the stairs, I fall through the gap after the stairs and get stuck there.
So yeah, that's a weird and disappointing design decision.
One thing that puzzles me is the design decision to use stickers.
All decorations are prints, McCluck.
I'm not talking about those. Yes, none of the decorations are decals now. It's all prints, and we can praise the great iridescent egg for that. But what we gained in prints we lost with actual stickers to stick electronic parts to the model. It happens again and again through the build as we've seen earlier, and there's even tiny extension boxes you need to stick to the wall here, and further up here, and here. Just because I don't like printed or decal decorations doesn't mean I want to apply stickers for the lighting system.
And to make matters worse, there's an issue with using stickers to attach those terminals. Light though they are, they still have some weight to them, and the cables themselves exert some pressure, meaning that those stickers can and do give out regularly, and we've had to stick them back on numerous times.
That sucks.
Well, I like the lighting system, and the fact they've gone to a lot of trouble to make subtle lighting effects which give a great look to the model. Like those blue lights along the road to the garage, and also that light in between those plates. At first, I wondered why it was there because it seems to just light up the inside of the construct with no obvious way for the light to get out, until you go all the way around and see a hint of orange shining through.
And there certainly is a lot of detail. In fact, the build itself is fun to assemble with so many different vibrant colors and interesting and varied construction techniques. More so than with the antique store or any other FunWhole model we've worked on till now. You certainly won't get bored building this.
And remember how we were wondering how the seats in the trading center seemed to be designed more for Lego minifigs than FunWhole ones?
Oh yeah, with studs on the seats. That really didn't make sense when FunWhole figs don't have holes on the underside of their legs.
Well, it's now been fixed, and the computer chair in the first apartment, for instance, has no studs on it, ready to accept a FunWhole fig.
Excellent!
And the same applies for all the seats in this set. Now, remember how we spent a video explaining the problem we had with FunWhole's touch terminals?
You mean how the top one kept sticking to the bottom one, creating issues when you tried to remove the upper floor, as the power cable was then stuck, stopping you from being able to do so?
Yeah. Well, it seems FunWhole have already found a solution to that.
Which is?
Don't remove the upper levels. You see, in the antique store, just like with Lego modular buildings, the top of the floor is lined with tiles with a handful of studs in specific places. With the Cyberpunk apartment, though, there are some tiles, but there's a whole bunch of studs for the floor to attach to, making it much trickier to remove the floor, and you end up feeling you shouldn't, even if the touch terminals were to stay in place.
Well, that sucks. So, how do you get to enjoy the insides of your FunWhole and stick your fingers inside the various sections?
Crude innuendo aside, we saw this concept appearing in the antique store, with the ground floor having a wall that you can open up. Here, they've expanded upon that, allowing you to open one wall for each apartment.
So the solution is to not treat touch terminals as touch terminals?
It makes it easier to build. But yeah, this particular model at least doesn't look like it's designed to have the floors removed.
They turned a bug into a feature.
More like curing the disease by killing the patient.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I like the hinged walls, but I'd also like the ability to remove the floors. It's much easier to insert figs in there and play around.
One thing I need to bring up, though, is why such a long USB cable?
Maybe to offer options for a bigger city? To be honest, I don't know. Maybe it was cheaper to get that length in bulk purchases. But it's easy to replace with a shorter one. Plus, a black one makes it more inconspicuous.
Fits with the mood better.
Okay, I think we need to chat about the figs. We've never assembled one on camera before, so let's give it a go now. You've got to make sure that the gap in the arm joint faces you. That's how you know you're putting the right arm on the right side. This is actually easier than it might seem, as it's the hands that are pretty trickier to attach. By contrast, the legs are pretty straightforward, and they slot into the torso very easily. And then, the head and the hairpiece are as easy to connect as any Lego minifig.
Hold on, how come some legs came pre-assembled?
I know, right? It's because there are some prints on them representing pockets, so they must do that to make sure that they aren't put in the wrong side by mistake.
So that's 3 legs out of 7. Come on! If they can do it for those, why can't they do it for all of them? And for all the arms and hands? It would really make the experience more enjoyable.
I totally agree with you, but there's also something else FunWhole should look at. The skin tones.
What about them?
Well, look at them. This is our 5th set, and all the figs have pale skin. Hardly representative of the population at large, don't you think? That's obviously why LEGO sidestepped the issue for so long by using yellow skin tones on its non-IP sets. Personally, I prefer the more human hues, but I'd like to see much more variety in the FunWhole fig population.
So to recap, there's a few things you can do with this set, like opening and closing the garage door and opening the side walls to access the apartment in the 1st and the 2nd floors. Although, you have more room to play around on the top floor than you do on the 1st floor, which is awkward to get into. But what about the turntable garage/operating room?
The back wall can be removed.
And the burger joint? Without being able to remove the floors above it, I bet it's tricky to put the chef in there.
Oh, you're right. That's why you can easily remove that curved counter to do it.
Oh, looks like they thought of everything.
Well, I feel the end result is quite impressive. It's a sort of corner building with various different building shapes. But as always with FunWhole, the magic comes when the lights are turned on. And to be frank, I would argue that this is the first set we've built from them which looks so much better with the lights on. You should keep them on as a matter of course.
And when you open the back walls, you get to see everything that's going on inside the apartments.
And it looks even better when you switch off the Void's lights.
Its special design really shines through that way, doesn't it?
This is one impressive building, I'll grant you that. But how does it fare when placed next to others?
Well, it's not a straightforward answer actually. It works and it doesn't. You just have to be careful next to which building you place it. For one thing, the red tree can get in the way, but that's an easy one to rotate to a better position. More tricky is the Neon Eats sign.
The one with the upside-down burger.
It sticks out a little too much, meaning if a building is flush without one's base, it just won't work. So you have to make sure that the other modular's pavement is against the Cyberpunk apartment's pavement on that side to give it enough room. I found the corner buildings offer the best results. And finally, there's the slanted transparent roof. It too sticks out far too much, and you can't put it upright to get it out of the way, as it then butts against the apartment's upper balcony before it's cleared the area.
You wouldn't want to put a building on that side anyway, as it's the road leading to the garage.
So putting it on the edge of the street would be the best option. Despite its futuristic look, I think it can blend in quite nicely with the other buildings, be they FunWholes or some other competing companies.
You'll get no arguments from me. I'm also impressed with the price.
This set is made up of 2,507 pieces and costs $170. That's including all the prints and the lighting system. By contrast, Lego sets of a similar size like the Orient Express or the Zelda set both cost $300. And that's without lights, and one of them even comes with a bunch of stickers.
So there you have it. FunWhole's off to a good start with their new Neon City thanks to their cyberpunk apartments. Sure, there are some tricky and annoying parts, along with disappointing decisions.
Yeah, I certainly didn't like those stickers for the lighting system.
And the fact the floors aren't designed to be removed.
No set's perfect.
But you can't deny that it looks great when completed. So, what do you think about it? Let us know in the comments, and we'll speak to you again next time.